Two American girls, fresh out of college, they make this bucket list trip to see the real-life Sleeping Beauty castle in Germany. They're there, totally in awe of everything, when they bump into another American tourist. It all starts off friendly enough, but then, out of nowhere, things take a dark turn you will not believe. Let's recap. It's the afternoon of June 14th, 2023. Eva Liu and Kelsey Chang, both in their early 20s, are wandering around the hiking trails around one of Germany's most famous tourist attractions. It's this castle straight out of a fairy tale. It's so storybook perfect, it inspired Disney's Cinderella Castle and the Sleeping Beauty Castle, in the cartoon. Well, you would never guess a predator is lurking around all that beauty. Well, fresh off their graduation from the University of Illinois, the girls are wrapping up what's been the trip of a lifetime around Europe. Eva's got this shiny new software engineering gig all lined up at Microsoft where she was working as an intern and they hired her, so it's an amazing thing to come home to. And Kelsey's just as pumped about diving into the real world with her computer engineering degree. So they're riding high on all that post-grad euphoria, wanting to make this last adventure count before they get all wrapped up in their new lives. So there they are, Eva and Kelsey meandering close to this bustling footbridge that towers 300 feet in the air, and it's famous for these breathtaking castle views, and it's super busy. There's just tons of people on it. So that's when they bump into Troy Bowling, a fellow American. He's this 30-year-old guy. He's from a suburb near Detroit. Now, our girls are from Illinois, so it's not like they're old pals or anything. But you know how it goes when you're overseas and you randomly run into someone from back home, out of nowhere. It's you're instant friends. You're from America, I'm from America, So when Troy mentions this hidden gem of a lookout spot, perfect for epic selfies that no one's ever heard of, and it's not as busy as that footbridge, well, it's no surprise that Eva and Kelsey are all in, following him down a trail that's more off the beaten path than they expected. When they're well and truly alone, Troy snaps, pushes Eva to the ground, ripping her clothes off. Kelsey springs into action, desperate to defend her friend, but Troy, with his cold, terrifying calmness, overpowers her, sending her tumbling down a steep 165-foot drop with the haunting words, "That's enough adventure for today." With her out of the way, Troy wraps a belt around Eva's neck, pulling tight until she passes out, and then he violates her, all while recording the attack. Now, this castle is a magnet for tourists. There's millions of people come and go every year, so it's no surprise when another bunch of hikers walk smack into this horror show. Seeing these folks, Troy does the unthinkable. He pushes Eva right after Kelsey into the ravine. She goes tumbling down into the woods far, far below. Are you ready for this? Kelsey was saved by this fallen tree. It broke her fall. She's banged up, but she manages to call for help, telling them that she can hear Eva somewhere down there. She's still hanging on, but it doesn't sound good. The girls are whisked away by Chopper in this high-drama rescue scene, but here's where it gets heartbreaking. Eva, despite making it to the hospital, just couldn't pull through. The injuries from that fall were too much. Kelsey, though, she makes it out with a head injury, some bruises and scrapes. A survivor, but at what cost? The PTSD alone. So Troy tries to bolt, right? But he barely gets a step in before the cops are all over him. Shocked tourists see him with these gnarly scratches all over his face and neck. Total silence as the officers cuff him and haul him off to jail. But wait, it gets worse. The cops dig into his laptop and phone, and what do they find? Child pornography. Just like that, the guy's rap sheet balloons. We're talking murder, rape, attempted murder, and now this. Talk about a heap of trouble. So Eva and Kelsey started that day in Munich thinking they're just going to take a fun day trip to an enchanting storybook castle. Instead, they get dropped right into a horror movie. And Troy, what's his story? Well, he's from Lincoln Park, Michigan, just a stone's throw from Detroit. He lives there with his brother. Folks around there say he's the quiet type, a bit of a loner. He's been bouncing around, working on oil rigs, and liked to travel, or so people say. But now, the only travel on his horizon is a potential one-way ticket back to the States, if that. In February 2024, Troy's trial in Germany was just about to kick off when he made an 11th hour confession. With his cards on the table, the big question now is whether the prosecutors are going to ship him back to the US to face the music in a Michigan prison. Can you believe it?